Yeah, so welcome to our 1 year young winery. So I've been in Napa Valley for about 35 years and migrated from the San Joaquin Valley through UC Davis to Napa. And even though I know better, we built this winery. And we're open a year. It's called Sleeping Giant at Dearden Vineyard. So we're down in the Carneros, Napa Carneros specifically, and we've owned this property since 2006. It's only 12 acres total. We have 10 acres planted. I have 5 different selections of Pinot Noir, 2 acres of about each clone, and we vinify all those separately. But you know, varieties the spice of life. I made Italian varietals for 15 years up valley, and cut my teeth down here in Carneros making Pinot Noir. And so not only was it a place that I love when we bought this property, but Pinot is like the holy grail for winemakers. Right. And making great Pinot is something that has always been interesting to me. But like I said, variety is the spice of life. So we make a lot of single vineyard Cabernets. And we've been doing that since before we were here. I mean, we were custom crushing prior to building this winery. So, and cabs, I love good cabs. I love red blends. I think for winemakers, a new vineyard is like catnip, you know, when you have an opportunity, you know, a grower or someone will tell you, hey, there's this vineyard over here, you should check it out. And you're like, no, I can't do that, I have enough. And then you're like, well, what is it though, you know? And they say, well, it's Nebbiolo. And you're like, Nebbiolo? No, I can't do that. Well, maybe I'll go look. And next thing you know, you're making Nebbiolo. Before the winery, we actually sold some of the fruit to a couple of small producers and a sparkling wine house, but we're cutting all that out. This facility not only allows us to welcome guests to visit and taste our wines, but it also allows us to grow production. So it's something that's near and dear, and 10 acres is a good amount, but I'm really looking forward to utilizing all of the fruit here and maintaining the relationships I have with a lot of the growers in the valley that I've had for a long time. So 10 years is my average tenure with a grower, but I have one that's 20 years. Yeah, gosh, as I mentioned, I came here in the mid-'80s and cut my teeth making wine here in Carneros, and then went to Hubline. I decided to get out of this crazy business because I was hitting my head on the production ceiling. So I was going to get an MBA, and I was going to make some money, you know, to heck with this business. And my wife didn't want to go back to school and watch me rejoin a fraternity, and she said, if you want to go back to get your MBA, it's going to be night school, which was a great idea. And at the same time, I got hired by Hubline, and they offered to put me through business school if I worked during the day and went to back to school at night. So graduated from the Haas School of Business. Worked for Hubline for a while, which is where I met a bunch of super, super talented people, including Andrei Chelichev and Dmitry Chelichev and Michael Salachi, Joel Lake, and a bunch of great, great people. But I missed, it was difficult to be a winemaker and go back to business school, and also they sold the facility while I was there. So I went to work for Seguin Moreau, who I was already doing a little consulting for the president at the time, Alan Fouquet. And honestly, Ray, I learned more about winemaking working for Seguin Moreau than with the previous 7 or 8 years that I was a winemaker in Napa Valley while getting my MBA. No, it was excruciatingly painful the first year, but after I started working for Seguin Moreau, sales jobs are a little more flexible than harvest time jobs. And it really opened my eyes to how wine was made globally. I mean, we supplied the barrels, all the wood for Aubryon and Margaux and all the first growths, but also a lot of the Grand Cru Premier Cru Burgundies. So my territory was North and South America, and I got to work in Chile and Argentina as well as Oregon and Washington and California. So it was really, really eye-opening for a young winemaker. So after I graduated and was interviewing with Toyota and McKinsey and all these other non-wine corporations. The other thing was interesting was that all my classmates at school wanted my job, wanted to be winemakers, wanted to be in the wine industry. They were all high tech or finance or things like that. So I had the opportunity to start a winery up in St. Helena with a family from Chicago, and I did that for 14 years, and it was incredible. It was really fun. We tackled Italian varietals when they were just getting going.
And they were very good wines.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was fun. Well, we had a little help. I had a couple of good consultants, Alberto Antonini and Attilio Pagli, who were Antonori's winemaker and Gaia's winemaker in Tuscany. So that was great. And they introduced me to the Gamba family. I started importing Gamba barrels, started consulting for other wineries, and so the tail started wagging the dog, and I left my day job in '09 and to focus on my brands, my consulting, and the barrel business. And I had a partnership in another winery at the time too. So it was a good time. That's when we bought this property. We'd already purchased this property in 2006, and it was a pasture. There was an old barn here, chicken coop, water tower, and house, and we've slowly refurbished all of it. Planted the vineyards in 2006. We planted them for winemaking, not for sale. That's why we put 5 different selections in here. And now at 17 years, they're just starting to kick out some of the flavors that have been great. Well, it's passion. I mean, I've been doing this long enough to know better and to be working on my golf game or learn how to fly fish. But every season, we've got bud break, and we'll get bloom if the weather gets a little bit warmer out here. But it's the promise of what's to come, and every harvest I get excited. So I know you. I'm not the first, and you've heard this a million times, but when that passion recedes, then I know it'll be time to do something else. But gosh, I get so excited when it's harvest time. And now, we've made it through our first harvest with flying colors. Thankfully, it was a light harvest, and everything worked, which is great because I've designed a few of these wineries for other people. And everything worked there too, but it's great to have it work here, and I'm just looking forward to more and more and more. DeardenWines.com. Yeah. Please come visit. We'd love to have you. We love welcoming people.